Beloved child, I am letting you know that an important signal has sounded in your life, and it is the sign of a turning in provision that I have been quietly preparing. Settle your heart right now, and do not let hurried thoughts pull you away from what I want to remind you of. Because this moment is not only about money, nor is it only about the numbers in your account. What I want you to understand more deeply is that I have seen your need. I have heard your prayers. I have known every burden you have silently carried. And I am opening a new season so you can walk in greater peace, greater steadiness, and greater wisdom. There are things you thought had been delayed for too long, prayers you thought had sunk into silence. But I have never forgotten. I have only been arranging everything according to the time when your heart can receive without being swept away by fear or pride. My child, I know there have been days when you looked at your financial situation and felt your heart grow heavy. There are obligations to handle, responsibilities to carry, and rightful desires you had to set aside because what was in front of you seemed insufficient. I know the times you smiled at others while inwardly calculating, wondering how you would get through this month, how you would care for those you love, how you would keep lack from choking your peace. I saw the nights you lay awake, the moments you sat silently before bills, in the times you told yourself you had to be strong, even though inside you were very tired. And today I say to you, you have not been abandoned in that dry land. I am your Father, and I know how to open streams where you see only hard stone. The signal I place before you is not an empty promise meant to excite you for a moment. I do not want you to chase temporary emotion. And I certainly do not want you to place your faith in wealth as though it were your salvation. I am teaching you to see provision with clean eyes. When I bless, I do not only add into your hands what you need, but I also place within your heart the wisdom to manage, the humility to be grateful, and the wakefulness not to be controlled by what you receive. The increase I am preparing is not only meant to make your daily life easier, but also to bring you into a new level of responsibility. You will learn how to care for what I entrust to you. Use it with integrity, and allow the blessing to flow through you into places that need support. Perhaps you once thought that things would never change. Perhaps you saw doors closed for so long that you no longer dared to hope they would open. Perhaps you became used to asking only for enough, hoping only a little, simply wishing not to collapse, until you forgot that I am not only the one who carries you through lack, but also the one who can restore, expand, and establish you in peace. But beloved child, I am not limited by your history. Your past failures cannot bind my hands. The wrong decisions you once made cannot stop my grace if you know how to return. Learn wisdom and walk uprightly. I can take the very place where you once felt the most shame and turn it into the place where you learn the deepest maturity. Remember that my turning often begins before you see an outward sign. When you have not yet received news, I may already be clearing the way. When you have not yet seen your account change, I may already be touching people, opportunities, decisions, and resources beyond your reach. When you think everything is standing still, I may be adjusting very small but necessary details so that when the time comes, the blessing will not only arrive quickly, but rightly. You do not need to know every detail in order to trust. A child does not need to understand the whole journey in order to hold the Father's hand. You only need to walk close to me. Keep your heart clean. Do your part faithfully, and let me handle what is beyond your strength. Therefore, do not let worry cause you to lose the ability to recognize what I am doing. Do not let fear of lack make you rush into doors that are not pure. Do not trade your peace, honor, or truth just because you want a quick solution. I can provide for you without requiring you to lower your dignity. I can make a way for you without requiring you to chase unclear promises. I can lift you up through clean paths, even when those paths require patience. Let the increase come in the light, in integrity, in gratitude, so that when you receive it, your heart will feel light and not heavy with anxiety or bondage. My child, what is coming to you must be received by a heart that has been prepared. If I place more into your hands, remember to care for what needs to be cared for first. Restore order to the places that have become tangled. Learn to distinguish between true needs and passing desires. Let part of the blessing become a seed of kindness, because the most beautiful abundance is abundance that does not close itself inside the self. When I lift you up, I want you still to know how to bend down toward the weary. When I lighten your burden, I want you to remember the days when you needed to be supported, so that your heart will not become hard toward the hardship of others. I also want you to understand that if increase comes, you do not need to fear it. Some people have grown so accustomed to lack that when blessing appears, they do not know how to receive it in peace. They become suspicious, confused, wonder whether they are worthy, and then fear that the good thing will soon disappear. But listen to me. The blessing I give is not meant to make you anxious. I give what is good so that your heart may become more steady in my care. You do not need to tremble before what I have prepared. You only need to remain humble and ask me to teach you how to use it rightly. Keep it rightly. Give rightly. Invest rightly. Speak rightly, and walk rightly. When you make me the source of your security, whether you have much or little, your heart will not be swept away by changing waves. My child, what I do behind the curtain is not always announced with a loud sound. Sometimes it comes through an unexpected message, a work opportunity, a return, a matter being settled, a business door, a timely idea, someone being moved to help you, or a new direction you had never thought of before. Do not limit the way I act. Do not expect blessing to arrive in only one form. I have many ways to provide, many paths to open, many means to reveal mercy. Your task is to stay awake, not to be hasty, to be ready, not greedy, to trust, not to control everything. Now, I want you to lift your head above worry. Let this word wash away the feeling of being forgotten. Let my peace replace the old voice that once told you that you would always lack, always be delayed, always stand outside good things. I am leading you into a season of learning how to receive without fear, manage without tension, share without becoming drained, and walk in provision while keeping your heart turned toward me. You do not need to cry over missing what is good when you are staying close to me. What I have for you will not be stolen by confusion if you know how to take refuge in my guidance. Beloved child, Prepare your heart for a holy change. Prepare with gratitude before it appears. Prepare with faithfulness in small things before receiving something greater. Prepare by releasing fear, by no longer cursing your own future, and by beginning to speak words filled with hope over your work, your family, your plans, and your hands. I am your Father, the one who knows what you need before you say it, the one who does not forget the nights when you silently endured, the one who can turn circumstances around at the most beautiful time. Stay near me. Walk uprightly. Keep your heart tender, and receive this peace. I am working. I am opening the way. I am preparing provision. And when it comes, you will know that my hand had been keeping you long before you saw the result. What you are about to receive is not something that will fall into your life by accident, nor will it come from the single path you once thought you had to depend on. It will come from a road I have quietly built through every season of waiting. Beloved child, I have seen all your effort. I have seen the days when you kept trying, though nothing in your hands felt certain. I have seen your patience when the result was still far away. And I have heard even the faint prayers you thought had dissolved into empty space. There were nights when you did not speak aloud, when you simply carried worry silently in your chest, hoping for a sign that everything would one day change. I heard, I saw, I never overlooked even one of your breaths in the days when you needed provision, clarity, and a hand to guide you. What is coming to you has been prepared, not in haste, but in my wisdom, through details you did not recognize, through people you thought were merely passing by, through doors that once closed and broke your heart, but actually protected you from a path that was not meant for you. There were times when you stood before a closed door and wondered why I did not open it. There were times when you watched opportunities pass by, your heart sinking as you thought you had been left behind. But my child, delay is not always denial. Sometimes that very delay is part of the road I am building, so that when the blessing comes, it will not lead you astray, will not make you proud, and will not frighten you so much that you lose your peace. The things that once seemed to block you, I am now turning into steps for increase. The places that once disappointed you will become reminders that I never lack ways to provide. The things that seemed lost will be used by me to teach you to see wider, trust deeper, and realize that the true source of blessing is not in any person, opportunity, or system, but in my hand, the hand that knows exactly when you need to be lifted up. When that increase comes, you may be surprised, you may feel unready, as though it is too large, too fast, or too different from what you imagined. But I want you to remember this: I do not place into your hands what I have not prepared you to receive. In the silent seasons, I trained your endurance. In the days of lack, I taught you to value every small thing. In the moments when you had to calculate, wait, and tell yourself that you would still continue, I placed within you the wisdom you will need when the financial door opens. Do not doubt yourself when it happens. Do not say that you are not worthy. Do not step back simply because you became so used to lack that abundance makes you confused. This is not a mistake. This has not come to the wrong address. This is what I have allowed, arranged, and placed into your proper season with a clear purpose. You have passed through a season when everything seemed slower than your endurance could bear. A season where progress was so small that you had to look closely to see it. A season when you wondered whether your circumstances would ever change, whether your prayers were going anywhere, whether your faithfulness was being remembered. I know that season was not easy. I know there were days when you were tired of waiting, when your heart wavered as you watched others seem to move faster, receive more, and live more lightly. But I allowed that season not to discourage you, but to shape the way you see blessing. I have been preparing your heart so that when you receive, you will not hold it in fear, nor use it in haste, but manage it with gratitude, wakefulness, and humility. Now that old season is closing, not closing with a loud sound that everyone can immediately see, but with a deep movement within and around you. Things that were once delayed are beginning to be loosened. Paths that were once faint are gradually appearing. Sources of help that once seemed far away are drawing closer in ways you could never arrange on your own. What follows will not be like what you have known, because I am not only bringing you out of lack, I am bringing you into a new vision. The financial increase that is coming is not only so that you may feel relieved for a moment, not only to reduce the burdens pressing on your mind, but also to give you clarity for your next steps. When your hands are open to receive, your eyes will also be open to see farther. You will understand what needs to be prioritized, what needs to be released, where to invest, whom to care for, and which direction to walk so that your life becomes not only more stable, but also fruitful in goodness for others. I am not only increasing numbers in your life, I am increasing your vision. I am drawing you out of the narrow way of thinking formed by years of living within limits. I am teaching you that you were not created merely to survive each day, merely to fear the next need, merely to bow your head before numbers that steal your sleep. You are called to live in wisdom, in pure abundance, in the ability to give without becoming depleted, to receive without shame, and to manage without losing humility. When I expand your borders, I will also expand your understanding, so that you are not overwhelmed by what I give, but know how to walk slowly, steadily, and pleasingly before me in every decision. There will be a moment when this increase begins to reveal itself clearly. It may come through a sum of money, an opportunity, an approval, a repayment, a door of work, a connection, or a path you had never thought of before. When that happens, the pace may be faster than what you are used to, and you may feel as though everything is moving at once. But do not panic. Do not let surprise make you step back. Do not let the memory of lack make you doubt the provision. Receive it with a calm heart, with pure gratitude, with wakefulness so you do not miss the flow. I am opening. What I approve for your life does not need to be rejected by you because of fear. What I place in your hands does not need to make you tremble as though it will vanish as soon as you touch it. Breathe deeply, give thanks, and recognize that I have led you to this moment not so you would fall into disorder, but so you would step into a new order. The reason this carries a sense of urgency is not because I want you to be hasty, but because hesitation can cause you to stand outside the flow of what is being released. There are opportunities that need to be recognized as soon as they appear. There are invitations that need to be weighed with discernment, not fear. There are decisions that need to be made in peace, not in endless delay. I want you to remain open, but not without discernment, ready, but not hurried, grateful, but not without wisdom. When you feel the movement begin, draw closer to me, not farther away. Ask me how to walk. Let me guide you in how to use, how to keep, how to share, how to build, and how to let that blessing become a foundation for a more lasting season. You are not being given this without reason. This increase has a purpose. It is not only to soothe your present worries, but also to open the things I planted within you long ago. It will help restore peace to the places once strained by financial pressure. It will help you see that silent prayers have not been forgotten. It will give you more strength to care for what matters. Step into new opportunities and serve with a heart no longer choked by fear. But remember, great blessing requires a heart anchored in me. Do not let the increase pull you away from closeness with the one who gave it. Do not let what you receive become a noise that covers my voice. Keep your heart simple, pure, and grateful, as in the days when all you could do was look up to me and wait. So, beloved child, when it comes, do not carry it with fear. Do not keep asking again and again whether this good thing is truly meant for you. I am telling you that yes, it is being placed in this season because I know you are more ready than you think. You have been trained in silence. You have been taught how to endure without losing kindness. You have been prepared to receive without forgetting your source. Step into that increase with peace. Manage it with wisdom. Let it open your eyes, open your path, and expand your ability to become a source of blessing for others. I was with you in the waiting, and I will also be with you on the day the blessing is poured out. What is coming is not accidental. It is part of the story I am writing for your life. A story where delay is turned into a pathway. Lack is replaced by provision, and your heart learns that I am always on time in my love. You may wonder why now, after everything you have passed through. And I say to you, because the timing must be exact, beloved child. What I do never comes in disorder, and it is never released merely because you are impatiently waiting for it. I see what you do not yet see. I know what you do not yet fully understand. And I consider not only the circumstances around you, but also the readiness within you. There are things that, if they came too early, would not bring maturity, but would only create more confusion. There are blessings that, if given before your heart was prepared, could make you afraid, uncertain, or cause you to return to old patterns. Therefore, I held them back, not to hurt you, but to protect you from receiving something larger before you were steady enough to walk with it. Now, you are ready in ways you do not yet fully realize. You have passed through seasons that made you softer, humbler, more awake, and more deeply dependent on me. You have learned how to stand firm when there was no sign. You have learned how to pray when the answer still seemed far away. You have learned how to keep walking even when the road ahead was unclear. Those things were not useless. My child, every night you tried to keep your heart from despair. Every morning you chose to rise, even when your heart was heavy. Every time you refused to give up, even though everything around you seemed unchanged. All of it has helped prepare you for this moment. I am not only bringing increase near to you, I am leading you into a new level of maturity so that you can receive, keep, and use it with wisdom. I am not only changing the numbers in your account, I am changing your relationship with provision, with what you receive, and with how you manage what is placed in your hands. Before, you may have seen provision through the eyes of someone afraid of lack, always calculating intention, always worrying that even one small change could make everything collapse. But I do not want you to live forever with the mindset of being chased by worry. I want to teach you to enter abundance while still keeping gratitude, to enter spaciousness while still keeping humility, to enter stability while still remembering that the source of every good thing comes from me. What I am doing touches your outward life, but it also reaches deeply into your inner strength, into how you see yourself, your future, and the responsibility entrusted to you. There will be people around you who do not understand this change. Some will be surprised. Some will question. Some will wonder how everything could move so quickly after such a long silence. But do not let their confusion become your doubt. They did not see the seasons you quietly endured. They do not know the battles you passed through in silence. They did not see the times you had to smile while your heart was trying to hold on to peace. They do not know how many times you wanted to give up, but still chose to trust me one more day. People often see only the result when it appears before their eyes. But I have seen the whole process. I was there in every moment when you trembled and still kept walking. In every short but sincere prayer. In every tear you thought no one knew about. For that reason, what is coming belongs to you. Not because others recognize it, but because I prepared it for you. You do not need to explain every detail to those who do not understand your journey. You do not need to prove that you are worthy of what I give. You do not need to shrink your joy so that others feel more comfortable. Be humble, but do not be ashamed of blessing. Be grateful, but do not apologize because I have opened a way for you. Walk gently, but do not lose your steadiness. When my hand lifts you, no doubtful word can lower the value of what I am doing. When I place a new chapter before you, no one's lack of understanding has the right to close the door I have opened. The increase in your account will not only be a material change, but also a sign that a new chapter is opening. And that new chapter requires you to think differently than before. You cannot step into a season of growth with a mind still bound to a season of lack. You cannot carry the same fear that once made you shrink back and then expect to manage expansion freely. If you still view everything through the lens of old loss, it will be hard for you to recognize the abundance being placed before you. If you still think you have only enough to survive, you will not easily step into a life called to bless. Therefore, I am renewing the way you think. I am removing the limitations that have clung to you through many difficult seasons. I am teaching you not to name yourself by what you once lacked, but by the love, grace, and purpose I have placed upon you. Expand your thinking. Beloved child, believe that you are capable of handling more than you once thought. Not because you are stronger than everyone by yourself, but because I am giving you wisdom to steward something greater. I will teach you when to keep, when to sow, when to rest, when to act, when to speak, and when to remain silent. I will teach you how to use provision not only to lighten your own burden, but also to become a stream of kindness for those I place along your path. The abundance I give is not so that you may live in pride, nor so that you may prove yourself before anyone, but so that you may step into freedom, generosity, and peace that lack once tried many times to steal from you. Do not continue seeing yourself through the limitations of the past. You are no longer defined by seasons of struggle. You are no longer someone who must bow your head before the worry that once weighed on every decision. You are no longer someone who only knows how to live defensively, afraid that if you rejoice too soon, everything will be taken away. I am healing the way you receive. I am teaching you that blessing is not a trap. Goodness is not something you must suspect, and stability is not too far away for you. When I give, I also give peace with it. When I expand, I also give guidance. When I bring you into a new season, I do not leave you to struggle alone in that new thing. This is not only about money. It is about stepping into a new identity that aligns with what I am giving. You are learning to live as someone who is guided, not someone pushed around by circumstances. You are learning to think as someone provided for, not someone forever afraid of lack. You are learning to manage as someone mature, not someone merely reacting under pressure. This new identity will change how you speak, how you choose, how you set boundaries, how you use your time, and how you treat what is placed into your hands. I do not only want you to receive more, I want you to become someone who can carry more while still keeping a pure, grateful heart that remains connected to me. Therefore, stand firm when the change begins to appear. Let your heart be open without hurry, joyful without pride, awake without fear. Do not return to old thinking just because the new feels unfamiliar. Do not shrink your vision simply because you have become used to seasons of managing little by little. I am bringing you out of a way of life that merely survives and leading you into a rhythm of life with order, peace, purpose, and generosity. Trust me in this shift. Let me teach you how to walk in blessing without losing humility. Let me renew your mind so that what you receive does not become a burden, but a testimony of my faithfulness. Beloved child, this timing is not late, and it is not early. It comes when I know you have been prepared. The years behind you were not wasted. They formed endurance, compassion, and depth within you. The days of lack were not the final word. They were the place where I taught you to value provision. The seasons of waiting were not forgetfulness. They were the place where I caused your roots to grow deep in trust. Now, as increase is released, receive it with gratitude. Manage it with wisdom. Walk with peace. And remember that what I place in your hands is not only to change your circumstances, but also to reveal that I have always seen you, always kept you, and always prepared for you a new chapter filled with light,